Welcome to Unschool, where we undoctrinate you from public school nonsense. Here's another article discussing the classy, or sometimes sassy, Thomas Massey. Yeah, that rhymes. If a coup happened in America, would you realize it? Right? It says, and then down here, the Massey post says, if a coup happened in your country, would you recognize it? This is a coup of a puppet regime. Why is he even in the White House now? Right? Everyone's realized Biden is senile. He doesn't have the ability to communicate in public. He can't even read a teleprompter anymore. Yet people are still pushing these ridiculous narratives. And, that's just unfortunate. So, now Kamala Harris is in charge, and she's never won a primary. She's never come even close to winning a primary. And she picked another guy named Waltz, who's probably a socialist. And that's really not a good sign for the United States. It seems that there are people who definitely do not want democracy or a constitutional republic. They don't want us voting for who we get to, for who we want in charge. They just want to take over everything themselves, and that's quite disappointing. It says here, wars are waged weekly between competing corporate interests, policy think tanks, and private equity firms, but always constrained to a narrow aperture of unwritten rules that require the combatants to use anything but violence to attack their enemies. Force is allowed, but only in the forms of capital lawfare, propaganda, blackmail, etc. In other words, the armies of insurrection have been replaced with legions of spies and saboteurs. Last week, the President of the United States, it wasn't really last week now, it was a few weeks ago, of the United States shared a letter outlining his decision to bow out of the presidential election via a tweet or ex post that didn't bother to elaborate on why he had come to this decision. Probably because he didn't want to, right? He was really forced out because the polling was bad. Those swing state polls looked very bad for Biden, so he was probably pushed out by the likes of, Pelosi, Obama, whoever else still has any pull in the Democrat Party. Then there was a radio silence from the White House for days as the media and internet detectives tried to decipher what exactly was really going on, right? Biden has too many health problems. He disappears for days at a time, and then everyone kind of pretends like that's not what happened when it definitely is what happened. It's a little disconcerting, but I'm gonna leave the video at that. You can check it out on classythomasmassey.substack.com.